Okay, it is now 2 o'clock, and so I resume the hearing. Again, I'm not going to do a long opening or anything like that. That hopefully won't be necessary. Hopefully suffice to say that this afternoon is about 3 sites, sites ST7, ST8 and ST9, and I will be taking them in that order. So first of all, then I'll be looking at issues 4.7 and 4.8 on the matters, issues and questions paper that's been circulated. I think as we do have some faces that are fresh around the table for today, I'll ask the Programme Officer, Carol Crooks, just to do the housekeeping for us, please.
Right, thank you, Simon. Hello. There's no scheduled fire alarm tests planned for during the examination, so if the alarm does sound, then please make your way to the nearest exit and gather on the corner of Claremont Terrace outside the J&B building, which is just to your left as you go out. Do not stop to retrieve any belongings, but exit the building as quickly as possible using the green fire exit routes. The door security, please use the main doors at the front to access and exit the building. For security purposes, do not use the side doors unless you're a wheelchair user and someone is available to unlock and relock the door after you. There are other users in the building, so just be mindful that there are language classes going on while this is going on as well. The toilets are situated on the ground floor along that corridor down there. Water, there should be plenty of drinking water around the table, but if anybody has any problem, if you let the either council or Citadel staff know. For people who are up in the gallery, there's water downstairs in the foyer. Other refreshments are available in Gillygate. There's some coffee shops and also Sainsbury's Express and Bootham. The proceedings are going to be filmed, so if you have any issues regarding being filmed, if you let me know, I can locate you in a place to make sure that you're not caught on camera. The Wi-Fi details is Citadel Guest, the password is General Booth 1883, and there are posters either side of the room giving the passwords. Right, thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Carol. I'm going to ask everyone to just introduce themselves briefly. As I'm doing that, can I also ask people, and particularly those further away, to make sure that their nameplate is sort of pointed towards me so that I stand at least a fighting chance of being able to see it. I'd be very grateful for that. So brief introductions then, starting with the council, Mr. Elvin.
David Elvin, Queen's Counsel, appearing with Mr. Henderson, who's behind me, for the Council.
Good afternoon, Laura Bartle, Principal Planner, the Council.
Hello, everybody. Julian Ridge, Sustainable Transport Manager, City of York Council.
Hello, Jane Healy-Brown from Arup, on behalf of the Council on Greenbelt matters.
Hello, Russ Porter from Porter PE, helping the Council on the viability matters.
Good afternoon, Mark Johnson from Johnson Mowat on behalf of Redrow ST8 and Tel Wimpey on ST7, although I do expect my colleague, Mr. Butler, to speak on my behalf on ST7.
Good afternoon, Stuart Natkus on behalf of Barrett David Wilson Homes, also ST7 and ST9.
Good afternoon, Paul Butler here on behalf of TW Fields for ST7.
Good afternoon, Phil Owen, Optima Highways, here on behalf of the developers of ST7.
Good afternoon, Laura Garcia from Pegasus Group, here on behalf of the developers of ST7.
Emma Winter from Carter Jonas on behalf of L&Q Estates.
Mark Lane, DPP, here on behalf of Vistry Group, ST9.
Councillor Waters, Osborne and Derwent Ward.
Dave Merritt, York Labour Party and York Environment Forum.
David Waddington, Merton Parish Council.
Stephen Pittham, representing the York Travellers Trust, interested in how all the developers will be meeting their requirements.
Thank you very much for that. Good afternoon and welcome everybody. So, yeah, as I say, I'm going to take the three sites in turn, starting with site ST7. For those of you that are maybe less frequent attenders to our hearings, the form is I'll generally lead the sort of discussion as we go along. If at any point you want to come into the debate, if you upend your nameplate like that, and when I see that, I'll make sure that I bring you into the discussion as soon as I can. So first of all then, site ST7, this is policy SS9. That's land east of Metcalfe Lane. And that is site ST7. And I think what might be useful is if I ask the council to introduce the debate, as it were, and perhaps take us through key elements of the statement of common ground.
I'm going to hand over to Ms Bartle and others in a moment, but the main issue is the size of the site, effectively. The promoters, I think, would like a larger allocation, and then there is some agreement about the amendment of policies you'll see in the statement of common ground, but there are still a few matters that need to be resolved. Ms Bartle.
Yes, thank you. With respect to the statement of common ground, that essentially seeks to set out the proposed modifications to policy SS9, which deals with this particular site, and it makes clear the council's position and the developer's respective position with regard to the proposals that the council is seeking to make, the proposed modifications that the council is seeking to make, and provides effectively a criterion by criterion kind of commentary on those issues, hopefully in a way that makes clear our points of agreement and disagreement.
I understood it.
Excellent.
Mr Waddington. If I could ask you, Mr Waddington, when you're talking, if you press your button on the microphone, please.
That was an apology. Is this new? I haven't seen this particular thing before. This is the thing we've just been circulated.
The statement of common ground is, I understand, reasonably hot off the press. Certainly, I've only just received a copy of it during the lunch break today.
I wonder if we could have just a few minutes to have a look at it so that we can actually understand what is going to be said.
Perhaps I could assist by talking through the modifications that are proposed in that document.
Can't I read them?
Oh, well, over to you, sir. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go through, to be honest, I wonder if that might take longer. I've read them and I understand them, but I understand your point, Mr Boddington, that you need to be able to have read what it says before we discuss it, so that you can understand where the council, what the council's position is, and the position of others. Yeah, okay. How long do you think you might need? 5 minutes. I'll take 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay.
Can I just point out that there are others for ST8 and ST9 as well?
Yeah. Is anyone here for ST8 or ST9 who hasn't read the statements of common ground? The one on ST9, Mr Elvin, is that one that I have yet to see, or is that the one from...
I gave a prod, as I said I would. There was one matter in issue, and I said, look, just get it out, and we can at least highlight to you what the matter in issue is. And so that is coming to you shortly. I'm sorry about that. I thought it was already out because I had a copy of it.
Okay, Is that sort of being printed now, do we know?
Yes, it was being printed. I'm looking up to Carol's office in the hope she might appear with it, but we're getting that checked.
I'm just wondering how long we're going to need. I mean, I think it makes sense for us to have a break so that we can read all of them.
Indeed.
So that everyone can read all of them, but I'm just trying to gauge how long we're going to need.
Yeah.
If I say 20 minutes, does that seem about right?
Yeah, the ST9 one's about, well, there are a lot of half pages, but the in text total is about 9 pages. It's not, but it's big text.
Okay, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take 20 minutes now and we'll see where we get to. If we can't, if we don't have the opportunity to read the statements of common ground for ST9, we can do that later on when I take a mid-afternoon adjournment. So I make it 10 past 2. I adjourn the hearing then to resume at 2:30. Thank you.